When I started my journey as a freelancer, I was charging around $10 per hour. But now as an agency, we are a full team. We charge around 100 to 100 per hour. The average project rates is around $10 to $20,000 just to start off.
Can you tell me about the toughest client you've worked with?
Toughest client will be a startup based in HSR, and they raised around $1 million. The timeline was very tight. Initially, they negotiated a lot. The project was not very smooth. It was very difficult to work with them, and zero acknowledgement as well. I think around 6 months after, the company actually shut down, and I got to know this. So that's when I realized actually I will always choose peace over money.
So Himanshu, can you tell me where you're from and what did your parents do while growing up?
So I am from Golaghat. It's in Assam. My father is a shopkeeper and my mom is a homemaker. It was pretty conservative back then.
And what did you want to become while growing up?
So I always wanted to become robotics engineer back then. My goal for making money was like around 1 lakh rupees. I used to get around 500 rupees pocket money. So 1 lakh rupees was like a huge dream for me back then.
Tell me about your schooling a little bit.
So I did science till 12th and then I pursued business management for my degree. During COVID, I had to drop out from the course. So after leaving the degree, I tried to learn courses from YouTube. I tried to upscale myself from real technical skills. I learned game design, game development, VFX, editing, you name it all. Eventually, I ended up doing web development. This was something which I was really good at.
So how did your freelancing journey start?
So I read a book about freelancing. The name of the book is Pajama Profit, and it actually motivates me and also guided me. It taught me how to monetize your skill, and honestly, I have never looked back.
How did you land your first client?
So the first client came to me through LinkedIn. It was a LinkedIn post which I did around midnight, and the client actually replied at his morning time, which was 4 a.m. for me. I replied to his text, and then he instantly offered me a gig. And this was the first gig which I did with him. It was his own marketing website. The project was around 10 hours of work, and he paid me around $100 for this.
And what was the LinkedIn post about?
So the post was about just my portfolio and the work which I have practiced. So I think this helped me a lot. Parents actually thought it was a scam. They were asking me to just leave everything and just go to college. But when the money came in, and then it came again and again multiple times, when I was able to prove them that yes, this can be a consistent income, they eventually realized, okay, this can be also a full-time job.
How did you transform from being a freelancer to an agency owner?
So after my first project, most of the work came through word of mouth, referrals. The entire growth was dependent on referrals. The first client with whom I worked, he kept giving me consistent work. He was also referring to his friends. This is how the work came to be during the initial months. It was just me and my laptop working for the first few months. So after 3 years of working as a solo freelancer, I finally decided to open my own agency, which is now known as Flowtrix. My first hire was a friend whom I met during freelancing. We partnered together to do a couple of design projects, and then eventually we did a second hire. During that time, I had to take a pay cut just to fund the team, but it was totally worth it.
And what does your agency do now?
So Flowtrix is a web design and development agency. We primarily do websites, design, development. We also do branding as well.
How big is your team now?
So we have around 15 people in-house and 5 people as a contractor in our team right now. We are aiming to hire more people this year.
And what is your responsibility now as an agency owner?
So I lead the entire sales for the agency as well as the entire team. I also look at hiring. So this is my daily job. So right now we have around 15 clients parallelly working together.
And what is the difference between the rates that you charged as a freelancer and an agency owner?
So when I started my journey as a freelancer, I was charging around $10 per hour. But now as an agency, we are a full team. We charge around 100 to 100 per hour. So the average project rates is around $10 to $20,000 just to start off. So we are now looking at long-term deals around 6 to 12 months minimum, just to have a steady cash flow.
And is it tough being the only founder?
So yeah, being an only founder, it's really difficult and it's very lonely as well. I have to take all the decisions and I am responsible for all the decisions.
What keeps you going when things get hard?
So whenever things get hard, but somehow it has always worked out, it's primarily because I have a strong team. I'm glad that we are always able to pull it off.
Can you tell me about the toughest client you've worked with?
So the toughest client will be a startup based in HSR, and they raised around $1 million, and they were looking for rebranding and a website to announce their funding. The timeline was very tight. and they eventually hired us. Initially, they negotiated a lot, and I should have understood the red flag back then. Eventually, I agreed to work with them. The project was not very smooth. There were constant negotiations, constant revisions, edits. It was very difficult to work with them, and zero acknowledgement as well. I had to spend extra money to hire more developers and freelancers to make sure that we deliver on timeline. I think around 6 months after, the company actually shut down, and I got to know this. So that's when I realized actually I will always choose peace over money.
What has your experience been like receiving international payments?
So during my initial years of freelancing, I used a couple of platforms to receive international money. The moment the amount got bigger and I started receiving more money at once, the fee started to get increased as well along with the payments. I realized there were multiple sort of deductions. For example, forex markup fee, platform fee, even conversion fees. It all added up to take away a big chunk from my earnings. $60-70 were actually gone. I wouldn't even know the actual fees until the money came into my bank account. Whenever I receive international payment, I always have to call my relationship manager from the bank. I have to fill a form and then clarify why I'm receiving the money, and then just wait for it to get cleared. I had to do this for every transaction for 2 years. I was managing around 50 clients back then, and tracking all of their payments was a big hustle for me. My crucial time was going on tracking those payments, whereas I was supposed to spend this time growing my business. I knew something had to change.
And how did you find Skydo?
So I was looking at another payment solution, and one day one of my friend actually mentioned about Skydo on a WhatsApp group, and I checked it out. They had something called a test transaction. I tried doing it. It actually worked out, and I got the payment in less than a day. This helped me develop trust in the platform. I used it for my first project.
What are some things that make you trust Skydo?
So the first thing I like about Skydo is that my money gets converted at the live forex rate. So the second thing I like about Skydo is that I get a local bank account of that particular country. For example, US or UK. Account comes with my own company name, which also makes me look legit and more professional to my client. So the third thing I like about Skydo is that my money actually gets settled in less than one single day.
And what would be your one piece of advice to anybody who's trying to take the leap?
So one advice which I will give is that pick one thing, one skill, and try to become a master of that skill. Try to go very niche on that particular skill until everyone knows you for that skill. This is something I will always advise to young freelancers who are starting out. If you are a freelancer or if you're doing a full-time job and you want to open your own agency, first of all, you need some emergency fund. While leaving this, you have to make sure that you have some good amount of distribution, good amount of portfolio and work you have prepared already while doing freelance or as a side hustle. Then you can gradually switch to an agency life. Trust me, agency life is not very easy. You will always keep thinking about who will be your next client, what will be your next project. This might be very difficult for some people, but whatever you do, and if you're passionate about it, so just go for it. I don't think 1 lakh was the only goal. It was just a symbol of wanting more. Today I run a 6-figure agency with 20 people. Most of our clients are from abroad, and honestly I come from a very small town in Assam, and this feels like a dream.